What's up, weirdo? Shade Tree Surgeon here, and today we're buying the cheapest aluminum Jon Boat and also the oldest aluminum Jon Boat on Facebook Marketplace. And the Jon Boat I'm speaking about is that one right there. We had to drive all the way down to Miami for this one, and at $1,000, I think it was worth the drive. But $1,000 for an aluminum Jon Boat, is that really the cheapest Jon Boat on Facebook Marketplace? No, not technically, but it is the cheapest one with a couple of caveats. The first of those being, it's the cheapest Jon Boat on Facebook Marketplace that also has a center console and everything's even hooked up. Well, technically a side console, but you're gonna have to nitpick me on that one. Another caveat is it's the cheapest, oldest Jon Boat that I could find, 1959 Alumacraft. That makes this boat 70, 80, 90, 2000, 2010, 2024. That's 1, 2. $65 years old. We'll go ahead and call it 65 years young, but when it comes to aluminum, one, they don't build them like they used to, and two, it's just fine. It's aluminum. It's not going anywhere. It doesn't matter how old it is. And not only that, but we have the original trailer maintained perfectly, kept painted, kept nice, and some brand new tires. I feel like I'm winning. I feel like I'm winning here. Now the 1959, that's just cool, man. I like having vintage stuff. I like the idea that this thing has been around for so long and brought so many smiles and done so many crazy things. And now I get to put my grubby little dick beaters all over it and hopefully not ruin it. Well, yeah, it's basically an aluminum bathtub, so pretty hard to ruin. But the fact that it is an aluminum boat and the fact that it's an Alumacraft, that's what I really like. You see, I could have found an aluminum Jon Boat in Tampa. I didn't have to drive all the way to Miami. I probably even could have found one between $1,000 and $1,500 in Tampa, not had to drive hundreds of miles to go pick it up. It's the fact that it's an Alumacraft, and it's the fact that it's a 59. Now, a lot of people will argue with me, and of course, aluminum boats existed before Alumacraft started making boats, but as far as offering them to the public, making them affordable for your everyday Joe to own a boat, and the way they did it and the reasons they did it, that's what's really cool. Back in the day, before they called themselves Alumacraft, this company was called Flower City Iron Ornamental Company, and among other things, they made aircraft for World War II. A lot of metalworking companies were pressed into service in the 30s and 40s to produce tanks, aircraft, boats, all sorts of things for the World War II war effort. Flower City was no exception, and by all rights, they excelled at it. Well, 1945 rolls around, the war's over, all of a sudden they don't need as many airplanes anymore, and they're left with a bunch of leftover aluminum that they had been using to make war aircraft. The powers that be at Flower City sat around a table and said, what are we gonna do with all this aluminum? Warehouses upon warehouses full of aluminum, and that's where Alumacraft was born in 1946, the first year after the war, so I imagine a lot of GIs coming home from Europe and Japan and all over the world. Their very first boat was an Alumacraft, and it was made with the very same aluminum that made all those aircraft that fought for freedom across the world. Now, by 1959, when this boat was made, I don't know if it was still the same stockpiles of aluminum that were making, I don't know. I might as well just pick my favorite aircraft, and nobody tell me in the comments who actually made it, because I'm just gonna go ahead and pretend it's the same aluminum. P-38 Lightning. Yes, I know Lockheed made that. Anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and pretend that this was the very same aluminum that was crafting my very favorite World War II plane, the P-38 Lightning. It's my story and I'm sticking to it, and guess what? You can't prove me wrong. And if you can prove me wrong, just don't. Come on, let me have this one, all right? I would say that I'm already winning at $1,000 for this boat and this trailer, and I'm not the most sentimental person in the world, but the history behind this company, the history of why this boat exists, the fact that Alumacraft basically invented the small boat market for guys like us, guys who don't have a lot of money. It's something like this, $1,000 boat. Their first boat was $275. There was guys coming home from World War II and they wanted to just come back to America, come back to the land that they were fighting to keep free. They wanted to get in a boat and they wanted to go fishing, and this was a way for them to do it very, very affordably. That's why I love Jon Boats. That's why I dig Alumacraft. That's why I wanted a vintage aluminum boat, because I love that idea. My entire life growing up, I never thought I could own a boat. I never thought that this boat That's something that somebody's dad has. That's a rich person's hobby. That's not something that I have. The fact that this boat's $1,000, that puts it within affordability for somebody like me and somebody like you. That's what Alumacraft was all about when they first started making boats, and they're still making boats today. They're a damn sight more expensive. I don't know that they're quite as affordable as they used to be, but this one, it's still around, and it sure was affordable, at least for me. Now, like I said, I already feel like I'm winning. Even driving all the way down to Miami from Tampa to pick this thing up, I already feel really good about it, even if it didn't have a motor on it at all. But it does have a motor, and not just any motor. It's got a 30 horsepower, 4-stroke Honda on it. I don't know if you've ever looked up what these motors cost, but it's about 5 times as much as I paid for this boat if you were buying it brand new. If you couldn't tell from the decals and the paint job on this thing, the gentleman I bought this boat from, though he'd probably cuss at me if I called him a gentleman, he was a biker like myself, half Japanese, half Mexican, and let me tell you what, a dude who knows how to party. He said, tell everyone you bought a boat from Mr. Miyagi. He was about 4'11" and just about as wide, and he had a face that never stopped smiling the entire time. Now, he had tried to sell this boat to a bunch of other people, and if anybody tried to lowball him even by $1, not only would he not accept the full amount from them, he'd kick him off his property too. I came knowing that this boat was worth every single penny, didn't try to take one single dollar off of him, because honestly, this boat probably, even without this motor on it, has got to be worth almost 2,000 bucks, I would say. With the motor on it, probably closer to 3. Sometimes it pays to be polite. The Conca Dolce will look very familiar to some people, and he was very excited to tell me the story about how he came up with this graphic, and since I want to keep this video monetized on YouTube, I'm not gonna tell you. I also wouldn't blame you if you said this is where the story enters the realm of unbelievability. How did you buy a 14-foot Jon Boat with a 30 horsepower Honda motor on it with a trailer for $1,000? There's no freaking way. That's the deal of the century. That doesn't happen. Even if you have to drive down to Miami for it, even if you bond with the guy who's selling it over motorcycle. I've already spent over an hour at this guy's house just hanging out, seeing pictures of him restoring the boat, like just having a great freaking time. The dude rocks. Everyone talks about Facebook Marketplace being full of bad people and assholes and stuff like that, and I guess that can happen, but I've had a lot of awesome experiences and met some lifelong friends through weird things that I bought off of Facebook Marketplace. But again, $1,000 for this boat? Impossible, you cry. That cannot be. Well, there's another caveat, of course. It hasn't ran in about 4 years, and we can't start it right here because the batteries are completely dead. So yes, I'm buying this boat with a motor that I cannot hear run before I take it home. Now, he has promised me that he did all the proper services on it, completely drained it of gas before he parked it for several years, but still, the boat hasn't ran in years. Though when you take this top off, I'll tell you, it looks like it's been lovingly maintained. There's only one thing to do now. That's hook it up and get it home and see if it runs. Now I talk about Alumacraft and affordability and how I never thought I could own a boat, and I never thought I could afford to have this. That's what your friend's dad has. It's a rich person's hobby. Boats, man, that's not for someone like me. Dude, look at me, dude. I look like the kind of person who owns a boat? Like, of course not. But yeah, of course, here we go. And there's much more stuff to go over on the boat. I'll do that once I have it back home. Like stuff that makes it worth even more. I really made out on this one. Like, honestly, even if the motor doesn't run, fingers crossed, but even if the motor doesn't run, I'm still gonna feel pretty good about this one. But I am forgetting one key thing. When it comes to boat ownership, maybe you can afford the boat, but can you afford the vehicle to tow it with? Now, I think you could tow this with just about anything. So if you have a vehicle, I don't care what it is, you can figure out how to get a trailer hitch on it. Doesn't matter what you have, it'll tow this boat. In fact, we're towing it with a $1,000 vehicle. $1,000 vehicle towing a $1,000 vehicle. I like the sound of that. And what better vehicle to tow this vessel than the one and only Bangkok Bagger, the mail order glide, the green gold wing of love, the incredible bulk, my 1989 $1,000 gold wing. Hey, what's the worst that could happen? Yeah, that looks really cool, but I still have to come back for my camera and tripod. All right, let's go for real now. 16-foot Jon Boat with a 1989 Goldwing that's running on one carburetor? Yeah, sure you can. Actually, you can tow a 16-foot boat as well. I figure after towing a 16-foot bow rider with a 60-horsepower Johnson on it, 14-foot aluminum boat should be no problem at all for the Bangkok bag. The weeble wobbles, but it don't fall down. I know I can count on this thing. It's just one of those things where you're like, hey man, where there's a will, there's a way. And something just makes me really happy about towing this boat with my motorcycle. Things that should be luxury items. A motorcycle and a boat? That's for rich people, but hey baby, $1,000 motorcycle, $1,000 boat. Baby, you hitting the water today. Oh, I mean, we're hitting the water today if the motor runs. I mean, there's no guarantee on that one. Fingers crossed, though. Why not? It's got a trailer hitch. You know, they shouldn't have put a trailer hitch on this thing if you weren't supposed to tow things with it. Give me a break. Self-canceling turn signals. Got a 4-pin hookup. Baby, this thing is hauling. Who needs a truck? I got plenty of room in the Goldwing. I've even got my fishing pole holders on it. Why not? I would say the weirdest thing about towing a boat with a motorcycle is riding in the middle of the road. That's not something I normally ever do on a motorcycle, either ride on the right or the left. That will say that's a little odd. Oh, I don't have my tow mirrors extended, so I can't actually see. I can see the boat just fine back there, but I can't actually see behind the boat. So if the fuzz decides to just kind of see what's going on here, I don't know if I'm going to see the flashing lights. I'm probably going to have to use the siren on me before I even know they're back there. Though I'm not doing anything wrong. Am I doing anything wrong? Is this illegal? Is it illegal for a man to tow his boat with his motorcycle, for a man to just want to have a good time going out on his bike for a little scoot, going out on the water for a little bit of fishing? I thought this was America, damn it. What's wrong with that? I mean, come on. It's got a tag on it. I don't even normally do that. I'm more legal than I usually go out. Although I probably couldn't blame the fuzz for wanting to know just what in the hell is going on here. And what in the hell is going on up there? Well, everyone else is going by, so I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I mean, I feel fine towing the boat, but pulling extreme traffic maneuvers, that's another story. Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here. Just doing some lane splitting with my Jon Boat. I'm not breaking any laws. Whose law? Man's law? I answer to a higher power. I mean, it's honestly towing it fine. I kind of want to play it up more just for the video, so I'm just like, oh god, I barely made it, but it's literally fine. But look at me, I can ride with one hand. I mean, I'm probably not gonna do that for too long, but it's literally fine. Maybe just a little loose in the front end. Maybe we could use a little higher rate springs in the rear. I think my air shocks have seen better days. So I'm probably not going to go no hands, but it's doing fine. Can I do interstate speeds? Will it do 55 mile an hour? Why the hell not, baby? As I said, I've towed bigger boats with the Goldwing, though. Let me go ahead and slow down for these railroad trucks, because I really don't want to high center that thing. We are hanging pretty low back there. Are we gonna scrape? No, come on. What was I worried about? Like I said, I've towed larger boats. Maximum Brown, my 16-foot bow rider that currently is down for the count. I towed that with this, and that was no big deal at all. Actually, I'm lying. That was kind of a big deal. If the Bangkok Bagger has ever met its match, it came away from towing Maximum Brown at a draw. Okay, we'll call that one a draw. All right, how does it handle the turns? It's not the happiest, but it's fine. It's fine. Nothing's wrong. It can go through a turn. It's a little wobbly. It's no big deal. I can put it in top gear. We can cruise. It'll get me to the boat ramp. Now, I mean, it's got to get me home first, but I know it can get me to the boat ramp at least. Well, this thing hasn't had gas in it in about 4 years, so go ahead here and fill up. They got, oh man, I was hoping they had ethanol free. Well, I won't put much in it because I do want to run ethanol free in it if it does run. And can't forget about the beast of... Oh, we're not going to reach? We're not going to reach. Luckily, we've got reverse. All right, let's skedaddle. I'm right in front of a light and people are already slowing down while the light's green to ask me questions, which, as per usual, every time I've towed a boat with the Goldwing, the most dangerous part about it is people rubbernecking, not me actually towing the boat. All right, how do we handle a U-turn here? I will tell you, it handles the tight stuff better than a truck. Hell yeah. Now, if you were trying to tow a boat, well, maybe not if you're trying to tow a boat, but if you were trying to launch a boat anyway on a motorcycle that didn't have reverse, you would probably be SOL unless you had something way lighter than that thing back there. Whenever I was towing the Gnu with the 9.9 Tohatsu on the back, that you would have no problem backing up with just feet power, but backing up this thing without assist, I think you'd be kind of SOL. Now, I haven't tried it yet, but just judging from moving the bike around, I don't think it's going to happen. And while I'm fully confident in the Bangkok bagger to pull this boat all the way home, I definitely want to install some stiffer springs before I trust it at highway speeds. All right, team, it's the next day. We got the boat back to the fort safely. Well, I don't know about safely, but it is back here. Now, before we attempt to fire up that 30-horse Honda back there, I'm going to go over some of the other really cool features on this boat. Now, I don't know if I'm going over these because I think they're so cool. That's part of it. But another big part of it is that I'm definitely trying to convince myself that I got a good deal, even if that motor's completely shot. When the previous owner of this boat, who again was awesome, he was super honest about everything, about how it hasn't run for years, about how he drained the carbs, and he had pictures of him rebuilding the boats. But one of the things that he told me about the boat is there's not one single thing on this boat that's not either composite or metal. Not one single scrap of wood on the thing. As you guys already saw up here, this deck is made of Kusa board. I think that's what it's called anyway, some kind of lightweight composite board. It's not only sturdy enough to hold 300 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal, this body right here that men fear and women love, but it also hides the gas tank, which I think is pretty cool, man. I always think it's pretty lame, especially on my other bow rider when the gas tank's just sort of flopping around in the back. That's really neat, man. We've got other storage compartments here as well up front, so I don't have to have gear rolling around everywhere. And in the very front here, we've got the anchor stow down there, which is also super, super cool. I got the anchor just hanging out in the back right now, but that's where it'll go. Of course, we got this nice bimini top, a lot nicer than mine because he keeps the cover on his. And we have the battery box, which now contains 2 brand new marine batteries because the ones that were in there were shot. I went ahead and threw these in this morning. You know, kind of sucks to buy batteries. Maybe I should have bought 2. Maybe I should have just bought 1. I still can buy batteries if I don't know if the motor works or not, but gotta have a battery to start the motor. Now, once again, the transom, which would normally be made out of wood, is also composite. I mean, damn, back in 59, they really built these things strong because this thing's built like a brick shithouse, baby. Or at least it seems like it's built a lot better than my 1983 Starcraft aluminum boat. Mine doesn't have anywhere near this kind of bracing in the back, and it's a way bigger boat. So he told me this stuff right here is a super high density foam. They actually build statues out of it, and he's been using it for years. So it looks pretty tough to me, and it feels as harder than wood, actually, and it will never, ever, ever rot. So there's not one single thing on this boat that can rot away. Everything, well, I guess the bimini top if you want to nitpick, but besides the bimini top, every single thing on this boat is made out of forever material. But wait, there's more. He threw in an extra Scepter gas tank, which might not seem like much, but it's still a $100 gas tank that's barely been used. He switched to the smaller one in there because he said this thing gets such good gas mileage, he could never run it out of gas. A couple of bumpers. They might just be Ozark Trail Wally World specials, but it doesn't matter. He gave them to me. This is where it pays to be nice because these bumpers, that gas tank, and the rest of the stuff he actually had for sale on a separate listing. And after we talked for an hour or so, he ended up just giving it to me. I'd be pretty happy just with these plain-o boxes, but we also have a full up-to-date safety kit, fire extinguisher, horn, flares, and the works. Oh, damn, and a first aid kit. That's nice. Dude, this guy freaking knew what was up. A real nice spotlight and an air pump if we take this thing tubing. He says it'll pull a tube, no problem. And it was wired for a Garmin, and he had the Garmin for sale separately. But once again, as I said, it pays to not be a dick and try to beat people up on price when you know it's worth more than they're asking. If something is worth more than somebody's asking, don't try to beat them up on price. Pay them the money. So yep, we got the Garmin that it's already wired up for in there, plus all these cool boxes to keep everything in. Once again, I know I'm just like stalling for time till I try to fire this thing up because I'm really worried the motor's going to be smoked, but the trailer, the hull, the controls, all the stuff, I feel like I got my $1,000 worth, right? Okay, time to stop stalling. Let's see if this thing fires up. Ooh, fingers crossed. Oh, that's a good sign. Okay, I think we've got something firing in there. I like the sound of that. Come on, God loves an idiot. Did we get lucky? Hey! Oh. Ah! 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 I cry. Uh-oh. Fuck. God damn it. Come on. Oh, come on, man. Come on. All right. That isn't good. Turn this water off. That's not good. Wow, I really have my fingers crossed on this one. Now, my inexpertise shows itself in so much as I know that water's supposed to come out of that. I know it's supposed to come out of there, and if it doesn't come out of there, that is a bad thing. Shh. I got Chloe calling me too. I'm supposed to go pick her up. We're supposed to go out on the boat today. I told her that I told her if we for sure going out on the boat. Lee. Well, usually I get really lucky with stuff like this. I just can't keep my fingers crossed. So it's not pumping water. I know that's bad. I think that I just don't know enough about four-stroke. Boat motors in general. My last boat, the motor ran fine, and it peed water just fine. I think that when water's not coming out of them, the motor's ruined. I just don't know. But either way, it's probably going to be really, really expensive, and we're probably, coming soon, Chloe. We're probably not going out on it anytime soon. I'll check in with you guys in a second. All right, let me freaking wrap my head around this. Well, Miss Chloe, I have some bad news for you. Well, the boat's not going anywhere. I assume it floats, but the motor is, I don't know. It's something bad. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's probably going to be super expensive. So anyway, regardless, we're probably not going to go out in it for a while.
What's wrong with it, Josh?
Well, I don't know. They're complicated. Don't worry about it, baby girl. Just know that it's just something wrong with it.
I feel like I could probably fix it.
You think you... I really appreciate that, and it's insanely adorable.
Are you mocking?
No, I'm not. Would never mock you.
Well,
I'm just like, they're complicated. Boat motors
I just gotta go show you how it's done then.
It's not a lawnmower, okay? They're complicated motors, Chloe. No, I'm seriously, I love you. I'm not making fun of you. They're just like...
Let's just stop by West Marine on the way home. Just trust me.
Well, I only think it's fair. I'm just saying, you had already planned on being in a bikini, so it only makes sense that you work on the...
That I...
No, you don't have to. You don't have to. I won't make you do it. How do you know so much anyway?
Fishing for a long time.
Well, did have me pick up a whole bunch of stuff that I'm like not sure what any of this does or why you would need to change it. Ultimately, I'm going to let you do your thing and trust you, and you can have fun, play with it, see if you can fix it. I doubt it, but all right, have at it. Show me how to make it squirt. I've watched so many squirt tutorials and I couldn't do it. Oh, okay, it's like that.
Between me and the boat, okay?
You sure you know what you're doing? I guess we'll find out when we go out on it. So far, it looks like you know what you're doing, but I've made an entire living out of looking like I knew what I was doing.
Well, I feel like I'm on to something. Can you find some mosquito spray for me?
Yes.
Thank you.
And a pinch, wasp and hornet killer actually works the same. I'm kidding. This is how I repay you for fixing my boat.
I'm gonna need a mallet.
I'm giving you breaker bars, mallet. This is getting scary. All right, John Henry, freaking chill out.
Ready?
What's gonna happen?
It should just easily... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Cool.
Is that supposed to happen? I don't know what that part does. I mean, I know it makes the boat go, but... I get to be the guy who holds the light now.
Hey, wow.
I'm doing it.
You are. Were you wearing this on a helmet before? Like,
No, I just have a...
oh my gosh, for real.
Wow, okay.
You might have all the fucking brain in there.
Not enough, apparently.
Shades.
In your evening wear, getting bit up by mosquitoes,
Yep.
fixing my boat, dude. She's a keeper.
Oh, yeah. They're everywhere.
Yeah, she's strong.
Moment of truth, y'all.
I promise she didn't actually drink it. I just had to get my phone out because the battery on the camera died as soon as we saw the squirt. Hey, I should have never doubted you. Good job, Chloe. You did great. All right, now it's officially, we are officially fishing in the dark now. Let's clean this up. We're going fishing soon. Well, and now that she doesn't have the old cock crunchers on, she's a few inches shorter.
This is me.
Yeah. Anyway, I should have never doubted. Chloe Cox saved the day. You saved the day. You didn't even have to do it in a bikini.
Oh, kind of did, but like...
Technically still did it in a bikini. It is definitely very dark outside, and Chloe has insisted that I do a complete full service on the motor before she will go out in the boat. I think that's pretty fair. It's a pretty fair.
Naturally, like, shouldn't
well,
be protocol.
Whoa. Oh no, all right. Well, if you hadn't have fixed the boat today and made it squirt, I probably would have said, shut up, we're just doing it my way. But since you did fix the boat,
I'm the captain now.
You're the captain now, and I'm gonna bow to your superior boating knowledge. All right, well, it's too dark to do a complete service, so that's gonna about do it for this one, but I'm pretty stoked about the new boat. It's got a lot of history. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun with it, and now I know that the motor does actually work, and it's not completely ruined. Thanks to Chloe. That's gonna about do it for this one. Make sure you subscribe, because we'll be taking out the boat soon. We'll be out on the water. We gotta think of a name for it. Half Mexican, half Japanese. We'll come up with something good.
Coochie-kun.
Till next time, y'all. Keep it weird.
Crashing through the sky comes a fearful cry. Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Armies of the night, evil taking flight. Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Panic spreading far and wide. Can the world oppose the deadliest of foes? Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Who will risk it all to end the evil call of Shade Tree? Army. Shade Tree, army. They never give up, they never say die, walking tall with banners high. Shade Tree Army, a ruthless gang of scum, villains, freaks, and bikers determined to rule the world.